Hi, welcome to Haven's Handiworks. This week I share my houseplant wish list of 2021. My wish list consists of 12 plants, so that's one plant for every month. Some of these plants are going to be common, not all of them are. Some of them are going to be kind of uncommon or rare even. A few of them are actually a little difficult to get a hold of. Number one is Syngonium rayi, dark, velvety, silver stripe, and heteroblasty. Say no more. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got a nice, narrow, thin leaf, and like I said, it exhibits heteroblasty, so it changes shape or form. The leaf form changes as it gets taller and more mature. It develops like these little lobes that are kind of typical of Syngonium, but it maintains that dark velvety foliage with the silver stripe through the center. Next is Raphaephora Kryptantha. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that one. I've wanted this plant for a couple of years. I kind of love shinglers, even though I don't really have that many. They're kind of hard to get a hold of. Some of them just don't really grow well without a greenhouse or terrarium environment. But Costa Farms has released the Hoya in their Turning Tropicals, so it's gone down in price. It's more available, so that's number 2 on my list, and I actually think that one might be totally doable. Number 3 is a Caladium Humboldtii. I know, caladiums, they're difficult. They're spider mite magnets. They burn easy and they need a lot of sun, so they simultaneously crisp and flop over. But this is kind of like it's not the typical ones you expect to see that are in every Lowe's and on every bulb catalog spring edition. So it's not got the thin, crepey, light green or pink or white leaves. This one is it's a green caladium. So it's more green. It's got white little speckles and splotches on it. So it looks like it's like someone spilled white paint all over it. It looks to be a little more hardy than, say, the crepe thin ornamental varieties. Number 4, Philodendron verrucosum. Now, I am not picky. I don't need an El Chaco red. I don't need the special varieties that are coming up on Equigenera. I would be perfectly happy with, the original species form. If I came across an El Chaco red, I would not say no. I would definitely accept that one. But I've wanted a verrucosum for a little while. Not quite as long as I wanted melanochrysum, which I now have 4 of. But yeah, Philodendron verrucosum, and it's a little rare, but it's totally doable. There's a lot on the market right now. Number 5 is a little bit of a tongue twister. It is the Caladium Studnerii folium. It's another green caladium. It is not arrowhead shaped, though. It's actually shaped more like the Alocasia maharani, in that it's got no lobes. The lobes are kind of... I'll post a picture of my cupria, and its lobes are kind of connected. The leaf kind of webs across between the lobes instead of dipping down. It's shaped like that. It doesn't have as deep of, like, you know how the cupria looks like beetle abs? Yeah, okay. Well, it doesn't have the abs, but it has the similar shape. It's just a little more elongated. And it too is dark green, and it is covered in little speckles and splashes of cream and mint green. Um, it's also a much hardier caladium than the pinks and like the Miss Muffet and the Angel Wing. Um, Number 6 is the Homolomina Humilis Red Velvet. Now this one isn't actually sold usually as a houseplant. It's frequently sold as an aquarium plant because it grows normally in streams and creeks and rivers in Indonesia, and it is really dark reddish velvet leaves, and it grows along the surface of rocks and crags. So I think it would grow really great in a paludarium. And it's super affordable. It's usually about $16 to $20. But you're going to get a very small plant. So you're going to want to get like 2 or 3 if you have a good sized paludarium. And that's what I'm going to have. That's supposed to be one of my projects this year, is converting a narrow china hutch into a paludarium using epoxy and some other silicone and some other things. So yeah, if you are like a purist when it comes to wooden furniture, you may want to skip that episode when it comes up. Number 7, Caladium Palacio Anum. This is kind of a rare caladium. You don't see it a lot in the US. You do see it overseas in Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand. You see it every once in a while on Instagram, but it looks absolutely nothing like a caladium. Its leaves are really long and strap-like, and they're dark green, and they just look like they've just been hit by 1,000 little stars. Tiny little white spots all over it, and the leaf shape is actually more in line and similar to like a warrock, that long, strappy, long leaf, just kind of hanging off the petiole. It's similar in shape to that. But it's absolutely beautiful, and it's completely different. You don't see it very often. They're supposed to be really tough and hardy, which I don't know why they wouldn't be out in like a common house plant. You wouldn't see it very often if they grow relatively quickly and they grow really well. Number 8 is Raphaephora Kryptantha. Now, I saw that one before I ever saw the Hoya. The first time I ever saw this plant was at the local botanical gardens over in Fort Worth, and it's just all over the walls. It's absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. It's shingles, and I said I was a sucker for shinglers. So they grow flat against the wall up, and they're kind of like, they've got like a leathery kind of texture to the, like almost like suede. It's not velvety, it's not shiny, but it is very like matte light green color. Like an olive green with a mint green veining. And I think it's beautiful. Number 9, Philodendron Elegance, or Elegans. It's not for everyone. Not everybody is going to be a fan of this one. It's not your typical philodendron. It looks like it's missing most of the leaf. It nothing but fingers and fenestration. It's got a very exaggerated and deep fenestration between all the little serrations on the leaves. It's very lacy and bright green. Just beautiful. I really love an unusually textured leaf, and Elegance definitely ticks that box. Number 10, Philodendron Brandianum. Uh, yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen this one floating around before. It's been on the market for quite a while. The last couple of years it's been pretty popular, but it's also in the last couple of years gone down in price. I know 2 years ago you could easily pay $90 for a little tiny plant, and now you're seeing, it's still a little tiny plant, don't get me wrong, but $35-$40 for a little tiny plant, which is kind of reasonable. But I feel like this one would kind of round out my collection of Scandens philodendrons. Even Scandens isn't a actual like cultivar or anything. It's just like the type, or type of growing pattern or habit. So I have the Hederaceum Neon, the Brazil, the Micans, and I have the regular Heartleaf. And while Brandianum's not a Hederaceum, it's still very similar in shape and form, and it's very different in pattern and color than the others. I would love Gabby, but I'm not, gonna hold my breath on that one. The Brandianum is actually significantly more available than the Hederaceum Gabby. They look, but anyways, the Brandianum looks nothing like a Hederaceum in pattern though. It's kind of like a olive color. If you took the color and pattern of Scindapsus pictus and you put it on like a Hederaceum type leaf, that would be the Brandianum. And I like it. It's different. It's pretty. And I think would bring something different to the standard green heart-shaped leaves that are part of that I have of that collection. Number 11 is not an aroid. Shocker. It's Hoya Bella. It's a common plant. Everybody's got them. You can find them just about anywhere. I'm sure they are going up in price because Hoyas have gotten kind of popular this year and a little bit last year. But I really want a Hoya that blooms, and Hoya Bella is known to be more willing to bloom. So, and finally, last but not least, number 12, Monstera Thai Constellation. Now, I have been waiting and waiting, just like everybody else, for Costa Farms to finally release these. They're a tissue culture plant, so they took a couple of years to grow, I'm sure. But that also means that they have gone from being uncommon to a common plant. They're easily to produce. They can produce a lot of them really quickly, really fast. So with that means the prices go down, and that is what I've been waiting. So as soon as that drops, I am definitely gonna be on the lookout for a Monstera Thai Constellation. You poor foolish woman, if only you'd waited 15 minutes to watch Cody's video, you'd know that Costa Farms isn't releasing the Thai Constellation until 2022. Albos and Arias are beautiful, but me personally, if you're willing to spend the money on that, more power to you, but I am not willing to spend that kind of money on a plant that potentially could be a really expensive green Monstera. They revert, and I would much rather have that stable variegation. So I know not everybody loves the Thai Constellation. It's not real sectoral. It's more splashy variegation, but I really love that kind of variegation. I think it's beautiful. It's different. It gives a nice texture to the leaf. It gives nice texture to your plants, like your collection, your displays. I just think they're beautiful. So yeah, number 12, Thai constellation. So yeah, that's everything. That's my entire wish list for 2021. That's one plant a month, and I am sure I will get more than one plant a month. But you know, I already have kind of a huge collection, and finding plants that I don't already have that aren't, going to cost an arm and a leg has gotten to be kind of difficult. Um, and I'm sure some of these plants I actually will probably still have them on my wish list next year. But a girl's got a dream. So if you enjoyed this content, you know, what are your wish list plans for 2021? What is what do you think of my wish list? Are there any plants on there that you've gotten and you absolutely hate? Are there any plants on there that you've never heard of and you absolutely think are stunning? Tell me about it in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, interact, share, and have a great day. See you later, alligators.